Hey you guys, welcome back to the Dynamic Mother-Daughter Duo channel. This is Christina. I unfortunately am not joined by my mother since I am in my own apartment and my mom is in her house. And I'm currently filming on a stool, so if it shakes a little bit, it's either me putting my foot there or it is my cat playing with the toys and the scratching post that I put up on the stool. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about I don't know. I want to give you guys a bit of encouragement lately. I'll give you guys some context on where I've been. Just like in terms of where I stand on my beliefs and stuff. I live in the Northeast and I live out in the country, so luckily I don't get a lot of I'm around a lot of like-minded people, which I'm very blessed to be here in this kind of location where I have that luxury that I can live here and I don't have to feel ashamed of what I believe in, and I don't have to be publicly ridiculed by other people, for what I believe in, unlike, the conservatives that, live out in, I don't know, like Chicago or New York City or any of these other major urban areas. We've been seeing a lot of, as these midterms are coming up, there's a lot of heat going on with, people trying to show their public support for our president, like any good American should do, whether if they like him or not. But there's so many videos, circulating around about, people, and news stories as well, about people getting their, Trump hats pulled off, people being ridiculed for wearing Trump shirts. And so where I've been at lately, and I know it's been a few months since we've uploaded, but, we've been having all these kinds of stories, current events going on with Trump supporters, literally being harassed simply because they're a Trump supporter, It's just crazy out there. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys, if you guys have any access to a newsstand or a, news channel, you guys know what's going on. Even with the recent banning of Alex Jones off of just about every major, Silicon Valley corporation, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, all these different companies that have just completely wiped him off, which is completely unfair, and it's a disgusting thing. But I want to talk to you guys about this because in the midst of all this insanity, I've definitely had my own fair share too. Not really physically, but definitely in the forms of social media, where, I may not even be, talking to people about maybe necessarily political things or controversial things, but I'll just, share my views, maybe on, where, on what may morally be right, kind of like things that you would think that people can basically agree on. But, like, just to be someone in this day and age who has a basic sense of morality, who has views, I guess, that are, pro-woman and pro-man maybe a more traditional sense. If you're a Christian, if you're straight, if you're married, if you waited before sex for marriage, if you've done any of those kinds of things, you're just the enemy of society, and everybody hates you, and everyone, progressive people just want you torn the hell down. They don't want to see you succeed, and they don't certainly want you speaking out, and it's ridiculous. So anyways, you guys know that this is going on, and I've had my fair share of it, and I've been bogged down by it, and I'll be quite honest with you guys, I was really struggling before putting up this video, because I'm like, I was thinking of, kind of like calling people out or whatever. I was thinking of doing something else, and I'm like, oh, well, what if I sound hypocritical, trying to, say, like, this is all wrong, and then people are like, oh, you should be open-minded, and it's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's just kind of getting, and I mean, in one sense, I really don't care what people think of me. This is what was going on in my own head. It just gave me a headache just thinking about it. And don't get me wrong, I mean, people say, oh, you should be more open minded. You shouldn't, this is what the left side says all the time about conservatives or people who are traditional, whatever. Oh, you guys are so close minded, you don't understand. This is what makes me happy, and this is how I want to live my life. And you shouldn't condemn me or hate me. You have no love, you are full of hate, and you are a closed minded, bigoted, blah 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 blah. Every name of the book, you know. You guys have, I'm sure, gotten this before. And the crazy thing is, I was a leftist at a point in my life. So I have been open minded. I have tried it out. I did those things too. And they didn't lead me to the kind of happiness that I have now. Okay, my life has improved drastically, and that was not for me. If it's for you, I guess good. I don't really care, but you're not gonna just shame me out of my opinion because you say that I am a racist, bigoted, homophobic, transphobic, hateful, racist person who wants to see whatever happened to the world, catastrophes or whatever, you just want to turn a blind eye to it. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. That's not what any conservatives are trying to do. I mean, maybe I can't speak for everybody, but I can at least speak for myself, and I'm pretty sure for most people who are reasonable, I can definitely say this, that we're not out to just try to, cause and wreak havoc to the world. I mean, and we say that of liberals and progressives all the time. It's like, you guys are, you guys are making things crazy, blah, blah, blah. And, some people are more soft core, so to speak. But there's a lot of ideologies that really are harmful. Like, it's not just me trying to say that to be mean. I'm just trying to be truthful. I'm just trying to say for real. Like, these are mental illnesses that you guys are trying to pass off as normal, which in itself, if you try to take something bad, pass it off as normal, pass it off as something okay, that's denial. That's already, a mental disorder. That's insanity pretty much. And you guys want to condemn us for just trying to help. We're trying to, we live together in this world too. So if you want to make a perfect America, a democratic socialist wonderland where everyone has free housing and healthcare and they're all broke and we all just have to wait for the government cheese to come once or twice a month, which sounds a lot to me like North Korea, which I don't want to live in. I don't want to live in that kind of country, which is going to end up that way. I don't want people trying to tell me how to live my life. And you know what? People can say whatever they want on social media. I don't give a damn. You have your right to say whatever you want. I have my right to say whatever I want to, damn it. And you're not going to try to shame me out of saying whatever I want and whatever I believe. Okay? That's a big deal here when it comes to, the whole Alex Jones thing. It's like he has a right as much as anyone else to say what he thinks or to say what he believes. And a lot of it is true. He's not just trying to, say, all these inflammatory things to try to get views. There's a lot of things that he's gotten right. Some people can argue and say, yeah, well, I don't know about, the whole, everyone is an interdimensional space alien. That's my Alex Jones impression. But, like him or hate him, he's been right about a lot of things. He's broken a lot of news stories that have been proven to be true. A lot of conspiracy theories, which happened to be true. And no one wants to say anything about it or give him any credit. So, I'm kind of going off on a rant, but it's been really frustrating, and I think it has been for all of us. But I just want you guys to know this, and I want to give you guys this, okay? Don't lose hope. Don't be shamed by anybody for what you say or what you believe. Especially if you know what's right. And if you know the truth, not just what makes you feel good, what makes you happy, what actually has some footing to it, what has actually improved society, what has actually made people's lives better, happier, healthier, everything like that. Don't be ashamed for being right. What we need more of are bold people like Alex Jones. We need more bold people speaking up against what's really going on in terms of, people kind of parading this cause of being, for the people, by the people, and for the people, who maybe only represent, like, out of this whole sphere, only maybe represent that much of the people. How can you say you're for the people when you're only for that many people? It's just, that's not everyone. That's just you and maybe a small group of friends and maybe some other few people around the country. The people are tired of being shamed. People are tired of, and that's why so many people just don't give a shit anymore. That's why a lot of people are just fed up and don't want to deal with it. With people calling them names, with people saying they're wrong, even though they're clearly not. They clearly have a point and they are just not listened to. We're becoming like the Jews of Nazi Germany. Being a conservative Christian, black woman, not even fully black, being a half white, half black woman, more of a minority than other black people. I don't cry about who's representing me, that no one's really speaking for me. I'll speak for my damn self. That's why God gave me a mouth. I'll speak for myself. Thank you. I don't need CNN. I don't need some celebrity. I don't need some Disney character. I don't need all these people trying to speak for me. Someone in some higher position because I'm too lowly to speak on my own behalf. Thank you. I can speak for my own damn self. And I will. Here it is. And I encourage you guys to speak for yourselves as well. Because if you don't, who's gonna do that? I don't know. I don't know if you know either. But that's what I want to give you guys. Don't be ashamed. In this day and age, the last thing we should be is ashamed. Because we have been for far too long. Especially Christians. We've been shamed and persecuted and ridiculed ever since Jesus came. Even before then. God's way, God's people have been under attack ever since the first man and woman, Adam and Eve. They've been under attack ever since. You know why? Because we have power. Because we were the sons and daughters of God. And there are archangels and evil beings in this world that don't want to see that. And like Alex Jones, I do believe that that does have an influence on the physical world. Among many other Christians. And Satan is real. And he's not just working in your individual life trying to make you miserable. Which I'm sure he works for all of us, trust me. But he's also working, against us as a whole group. Because he wants to see us dead. Plain and simple. Silent, dead. The dead is the best way to silence somebody. Don't be silent. Be brave. Be brave. Be courageous. Be like lions. Be like Christ was. Christ was a revolutionary. He got up in those, he got up in the Jewish places of worship and turned them upside down. Literally, go and check when he was chasing out the money chasers with the whips. Telling them, don't sell things in my Father's house. This is a place of worship. He was anti-establishment since day one. Besides, who arrested Jesus and killed him? The Pharisees? Who were they? Powerful. The Pharisees were powerful people. The Romans. Roman soldiers. King of Rome. Had him arrested. And killed. and continued to kill Christians for hundreds of years after. What does that tell you? If everyone else hates you, but you know what you're doing is right, keep going. Don't stop. Don't be silent. Be brave. God is behind you, and He is marching forward, and you are in His army. So be a soldier. Be a warrior for God. Be a warrior for what's good, and for those in the world that do need us to fight. Because there are people who are silent, who really don't have a voice, that need righteous people to step up. And if you can awake to your ways, if you are a sinful person, but you know what's right, if you can wake up to your ways and, really repent and have peace within yourself, please don't hesitate. Don't be afraid to confront yourself. You guys got this. Okay? So, with that said, thank you for tuning in. I hope those words of encouragement really help, really bring some peace, and also raise some hell. Because there is an evil world out there that needs to be taken care of. And, God doesn't have a body. We are, as a body of Christ, we are God's hands and feet. And we got to act on His behalf. We got to act on His will. So I pray you guys can open yourselves up to that for my fellow Christian brothers and sisters. You can open yourselves up to let God let you move and let God use you in your own life, in your own ways, in your own communities, for real. And I pray that He can use you. Be brave. Don't be afraid. I'm right here with you guys, so you have at least me here. You have me and my mom. We're fighting the fight, doing what we can. You have all the rest of us who may be watching. So we're all in this together, so don't worry. Stay strong, stay brave, and be true. Thank you guys.